Welcome to the place to be reviews. I'm Itepokuyan right here with all yous, and Batwoman is finally back after the hiatus. Help me, please. Yeah, she's got me kidnapped. Stockholm Syndrome. I can't do this anymore. What? Gotham needs me? I thought they needed Batwoman. They want my reviews? Those are the subscribers' favorite videos? They have the most views? People like to watch me suffer? Especially Lincoln7, Alex, who's on the podcast tonight at 8:35 Eastern? I know they do. What do you expect? I can't stop doing these now. I'm hooked. On the show? No, on Ruby Road.
My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe.
Well, I bet you missed it as much as I did. If what you got during Crisis wasn't enough for you, well, you're in luck. So buckle up, get your popcorn ready, because my boo Ruby Rose, a.k.a. Kate Kane, a.k.a. Batwoman, is back. Oh, God, I can't do this with a straight face. We start our show as a train is suffering a brake outage, and Luke is talking to Kate over the radio as the train speeds toward a collision. The trusty grappling hook on her Batbike, Kate stops the train dead in its tracks, inches before impact, but the hook on the rear of her bike gives way. As it speeds toward her, she is rescued by a GCPD officer who dives in and pushes her out of the way. Much to the dismay and horror, it was a white police officer that saved her. The patriarchy. Am I right? We're then led into our next scene by the dulcet tones of Vesper Fairchild, a.k.a. Rachel Maddow's insipid and insufferable ramblings, although she does reference Oliver Queen's death from Crisis, and the cop-saving Batwoman makes front page of the Gotham papers, and Fairchild delivers a cringe-worthy line of, "Are we shipping these two or what?"
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Really humorous because we just dealt with Star Wars and all that shipping nonsense with Finn and Poe and Rey and Kylo, and we don't want to do it here, which leads to an awkward conversation between Luke and Kate about the people of Gotham, quote, shipping Kate and the cop. Kate and Luke, though, they're still sitting there talking, and Kate says she's very gay. Not just gay, but very gay.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
And they jokingly call the cop Captain America throughout the convo.
I understood that reference.
Kate says she doesn't know why everyone cares about Batwoman's sex life, and Luke responds with, they want to see her happy. And as Kate broods off the screen, she says, too bad she's not. And then we cut away. Alice and Mouse are having a tea party at Catherine Hamilton's grave, which seems like a perfectly rational thing to do.
Would you like some more tea, Polly Prissy Pants? Yes, Ed, I would like some tea, thank you. You're very welcome, Polly Prissy Pants.
Mouse and Alice, they have their little back and forth over the fact that Kate won't ever join Alice and him in their little family. And he tells her that as long as Kate is Batwoman, she'll never join their family. Of course, Rachel Skarsten's expressions and body language, they're a bit exaggerated, but almost as comical as she is in the mix between pouty and angry. And she consistently overacts and over-dramatizes her scenes, which I don't mind because I kind of love Rachel Skarsten. We then join Mary Hamilton. She is in her super secret clinic, which of course pretty much everybody knows about already. Of course, she's vlogging about her woes of her dead mother, her stepfather Jacob Kane being incarcerated for murder, falsely, and how evil her family is in the public eye. And she says this isn't, your opportunity to treat me like a punching bag. And she signs off social media, which is, of course, kind of a metaphor for some of the other celebrities that have had to do that, quote unquote, because of toxic fans. But we all know the story behind that. Kate joins her, and Mary makes her feel like shit. And just when Kate asks to help, Mary tells her to have Alice stop defiling her dead mother's grave. Ouch. Very ouch.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Luke and Kate are on the train that stopped as they go to do some investigating. And they get, how do they get to the crime scene, you ask? Well, they use false ID, and they pose as transit department employees. Kate finds, what's a shocker, she kills the power, of course, because, her and Luke, out of the two of them, she's the smart one, and Luke is just there. She finds the MacGuffin that made the train's brakes go out when a Bitmoji dog appears on everyone's phones, televisions, computers, and other screens across Gotham, telling them to crowdfund this hacker's escape from Gotham by raising $5 million by midnight. won't change. This is a gross abuse of the crowdfunding tool, and I don't think Zoe Quinn would approve. Can I get a tax write-off for that, though? I mean, really, can I please? Is that a 1099able? I don't know. We join a press conference with the mayor of Gotham City, who we haven't really seen in I don't know really how long. And he's answering questions regarding the cyber attack. Is it terrorism? He insists that they are secure and go on about your daily activities. And then the terror strikes by putting the terrier face on the mayor and runs his credit card number across the screen on live television. Which, if you want security, cybersecurity, and safety in Gotham City, nothing screams that like having your press conference that's live hacked and your credit card info put across the screen, right? But wait, there's more. So Jacob is eating while sitting in Gotham jail. Was it Black Rock in Gotham jail? Or Black Rock is like the Gotham prison. He is eating and he finds a yummy razor blade in his, I believe he was having, it looked like lasagna, but yeah, he finds a razor blade in it, which I don't know if that's a common ingredient. I've never added that to my lasagna, but maybe I'll have to give it a try moving forward. He's approached by an inmate who basically intimidates him and calls him his doggy or his puppy, and he's on the phone with Mary, and she's running through the plausible scenarios to get him out. She wants to find Alice and force her to confess. She's trying to find a plastic surgeon so he can testify that what Mouse had did with the skin and the masks and make himself look exactly like Jacob was plausible. Meanwhile, we rejoin Batwoman as she's hunting down our hacker by using the trace that her and Luke set up after the cyber attack on the mayor. She references the fact that the warehouse was giving her Mr. Robot vibes, which is where they go to try to find the the hacker. And Remy Malek's stock just dropped from that little back and forth there, and they name drop Mr. Robot. And she loses touch on her comm with Luke, of course, because he goes dark. And we find Sophie and the Crows have a bunch of hackers at gunpoint in this warehouse. Now, yeah, Sophie is just beating the shit out of one of these guys. And it's, of course, just a white guy, and he's sniveling and whining, of course. And she goes outside command. And she has a meeting with Batwoman, because she storms out because they went to the wrong warehouse, and Sophie's mad because she's in charge. This is her strike team. Kate's modulator on her voice is distracting as fuck during this cringe-worthy exchange as they basically discuss Sophie's feelings for Kate and the fact that her husband, Chad or Kyle or Filbert or whatever the hell his name is, left her because she was unsure about things. Mary's meeting with a doctor at Gotham University that was a colleague of her mother's, and she's looking for him to be a witness in Jacob's trial because the skin work that Mouse did with the mask, and he, of course, refuses. Tells her she probably needs a vacation. We find Kate and Luke in the cave, and they again reference the Crisis episode, and Kate is still hung up on her identity, and Luke refers to the hacker as a her, and Kate says her, and he informs her that he found that through his research the hacker is indeed a woman or a girl, and recording her messages from Kate's old high school, Gotham Prep. This week on Gotham 90210. Back at Crow headquarters, Sophie is on the phone with Mary, who is telling her that the doctor isn't helping them. Then she sees Alice in disguise entering Gotham University and tells Sophie as she follows her in. But doesn't get too close because let's remember, Mary is not a fighter. And Alice is very dangerous. She's entering Gotham University, or so Mary thinks. We then cut to Gotham Prep, and Batwoman makes her entrance during a high school dance. And then she deploys a weapon that Luke gave her, which is kind of it's a sonar. It's like an EMP. So basically it kills every electric device in its vicinity or the proximity that it is detonated in. Not detonated, but set off. So it doesn't hurt people, just electronics. And it gives her a chance to use her Batwoman sonar to find the hacker. So she finds the target in a bathroom and shows her that she knows who she is. And the kid, of course, is just looking for her parents' attention because, wait for it, she's gay. And her ex outed her to her parents. Of course, it goes back to some cringe-worthy dialogue and gets so meta as to have the hacker girl, Parker or whatever her name is, say that she's going to grow up being represented by some ancillary character on her favorite TV show.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
She then says to Kate that she's basically jealous that everyone is shipping her with the hottest guy in Gotham. Did this dialogue get worse since the last episode in December? Did the writers, is there another strike in the writers that I don't know about and they hired, monkeys and they're throwing shit at a wall? Oh, that's what they had already? Okay. Alice, oh God. So we're going to join Alice in a minute. Sophie and her team of crows arrive at Gotham University in full tactical gear. They breach where they think Alice is, but it's just some poor white kid sitting in his dorm room on his computer, probably doing a term paper. But we see that Alice is already at the school with the terrier, and then her Batwoman brawl, of course, in the hallway. Alice KOs both of them, and she takes the girl, hacker, terrier, Parker, whatever her name is, and she tells them, oh, don't worry, Batwoman will be joining us soon. And Alice is running a saw right by Parker's face to kind of threaten her to get her to do something. We'll cover that in a second. And then Kate arrives, and Alice is monologuing again, tells Kate to take off her mask. Well, Batwoman, because she doesn't know it's Kate yet. So we cut away and join Mary at her clinic. She's joined by Sophie, and Mary is in the process of shutting her clinic down. They argue over seeing Alice at Gotham again. Sophie tells Mary she's pretty much crazy. Sophie empathizes with her a little bit, though, and reiterates the fact that her marriage just fell apart, which is the second time in this episode we've got that. We rejoin. It's almost as if they're setting up something between her and Kate. What a shocker.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
We rejoin Alice, Parker, and Batwoman, and of course my girl Rachel Scarston overacting. Kate takes off her mask after a lackluster line delivery by Ruby Rose. I love you, girl, but your performance is less than inspired. But Scarston's reaction is ridiculously expected. She is ultimately recognized by Parker, that's Kate that is, and Alice is trying to recruit Parker to get her to dox Kate as Batwoman. Parker asks Alice if she's going to kill her, and Alice says no, but she's planted C4 into the DJ booth. Kate tells Parker to out her, send the message, because that's what Alice wants. She wants Parker to send a message to everybody in Gotham's phone, screen, tablet, device, telling them that Batwoman is indeed her twin sister, Kate Kane. Parker vehemently opposes this because of all lesbian.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
She doesn't want to out. It's cringy. The identity politics ran kind of. It was really ham-fisted in this one. Alice is celebrating her victory as Parker sends the message telling everyone who Batwoman is, or so we think, and she is released. Kate catches Alex with a trap, almost like a handcuff, zip tie thing. Zip ties her to a pipe, and they have more ridiculous conversation, and it's all, why don't you accept me, and why won't you be my sister, and blah, 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 blah. So at this point, Kate's telling her to disarm the bomb. Alice says, I don't have the detonator. We cut away. We see Mouse sitting in a car, of course, and kaboom, there goes the dynamite. Okay, this is after GCPD shows up, and the Captain America cop shows up, and he's trying to get everybody out of the gymnasium as the kids are all running out there. They're middle of this high school dance. The explosion goes off, and he says, oh God. And then who swoops in to save him? Batwoman. Covers him up with her, remember, flame retardant cape. We learned that in the Magpie episode with the bad CGI explosions. Covers him up, and as she uncovers him, he's kind of laying down, shocked, and she uncovers him, and the crowd's chanting for them to kiss. And he kind of leans in for it, and she just puts the hand up and says, not happening. Parker then strolls into Kate's office and gives her community service. I didn't know that Kate was, in charge of assigning community service, but gives her 150 hours of community service and orders her to pay back the money she took. You remember that $5 million ransom for her to leave Gotham? Yeah. And the two have a moment in the vein of representation, and of course they celebrate that Kate is a lesbian. Of course. Because what would this show be without Batwoman being a lesbian? Alice is at Crow headquarters, and Sophie's ready to interrogate her, and Alice, of course, just laughs at her. Luke presents Kate with a birthday cupcake because it is her and Beth's birthday. And Kate is staring at a magazine cover, and it says, Batwoman reveals herself as stunning and brave. I mean, a lesbian. And the soothing sounds of Vesper Fairchild inquisitively asks, whatever happened to politics staying out of our superheroes? What the hell? Did she really just say that?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
And of course, Kate makes a wish as she blows out her candle on the cupcake, and this will be important later on. Mary is still trying to help find assistance for the trial, an expert witness of some kind. Kate walks in, they hug because Mary's not dealing well. Jacob is threatened by the same inmate as we kind of have a quick cutaway to the prison. And Kate is finishing up her call with Jacob. A woman walks into her office and says, happy birthday, I'm back, and asks where the cute front desk guy is. And this woman is kind of acting like she never left. Oh, that's right. It's Scarston, and she's done up like Beth. She says after a semester abroad, this is the welcome I get. Kate attacks her and demands to know who she is. She insists she's Beth, and that's where we leave off. And in a kind of a preview for next week, we find out why Rachel Scarston is, of course, dressed as Beth, and it's because of Kate's wish she made on her birthday cupcake. That's right. A wish on a birthday cupcake turns Alice into Beth. Now, this is going to lead to some supernatural type storyline, which I spoke about in a previous video where they rumored that Nocturna was going to show up. I don't know that the vampire has anything to do with the wish, but I do know the show is going to take a turn for the supernatural. This episode was pretty bad. We're going to talk about that in just a second here in the closing, but oh man, yeah, the dialogue in this one was really bad. They really played heavy on the fact that Kate is a lesbian. I mean, it couldn't really get much worse than this. Hold my beer, says this episode, because the next will probably be just as bad. So there you have it. Batwoman Season 1, Episode 10, review in the books. I hope you enjoyed, because it was work. It was work. This episode was bad. They played really ham-fisted, heavy-handed on the identity politics, really leaning on her fact that she's a lesbian, and Parker, the young girl who played the Terrier, aka the Hacker, was of course a lesbian who was outed by her former lover. A lot of this show got very meta at times, so I don't know. This was just, like I said, a cringy episode in a series full of cringy episodes and moments and bad dialogue and overacting, and yeah, low ratings. Let's not forget low ratings. But who doesn't have low ratings? Me, the place to be reviews, of course. This is where you can find us on social media. You can find us at TB2BR on Instagram, on Twitter at the place to be RE1, at N80Pete, also Facebook, the place to be reviews. That's our page. You can just follow that. Keeps you up to date on what's going on. Also, the Place to Be Reviews official fan page. That's our private group you can join. Put in a join request. Myself, one of my admins or moderators, will get you vetted and get you in. You can email us, theplacetobereviews@mail.com. Or you can subscribe right here on Etepokuian's The Place to Be Reviews channel on YouTube, which you're watching this video, of course. So please take the time to subscribe and click that bell on for notifications. Tonight, 8:35 Eastern, The Place to Be Reviews podcast, episode number 84, I believe it is. Myself, Tony Tonedeaf, Linkalect7, Groovinator, Coach Loudy. It's all ahead. Big show right here on Etepokuian's The Place to Be Reviews, where I've been with all of yous, and I say until I see you later on, be good.